review a lot of gaming PCs from all kinds of random companies, and we have our own PC selling business, and normally they make sense, but today we're checking out a PC from a company that we have no clue how they're making any money.
This right here is a $179 PC from eBay, and as Jackson mentioned, we have no idea how this company is turning a profit. Maybe we got scammed? We're about to find out, but first, a word from today's sponsor. Are you tired of your unactivated Windows install on your gaming PC? Well, today's video sponsor, GVG Mall, has you covered. GVG Mall is an online marketplace to gain access to really awesome discounted game keys, and more specifically, as we mentioned, Windows 10 licenses.
It is incredibly easy to get your Windows 10 or 11 activation key from GVG Mall. Just use code TB20 to get a special discount, and then all you have to do is take that code, put it into Windows, and boom, you have an activated Windows copy.
We have been working with GVG Mall for several years now, and we love the reliability of all the products they have to offer, so be sure to check the link in the description down below. Use code TB20 to save on your next purchase of a Windows key or other product from GVG Mall. Really cheap computer, $179, and features a GTX 960 with a newer i7, well, I'd say newer i7 processor, but it's under $200 on eBay. And with eBay fees, I'm just wondering how they're making money.
Well, and the other thing is, from what I remember, this is like a custom build. That's really what makes this unique is, you know, we get the whole idea on taking an old Office PC and basically slapping a graphics card in it, because you can get those old Office PCs, this is wild packaging. You can get those little Office PCs for like 50 bucks, you know, no problem. Slap yourself a maybe $75 graphics card in there, and boom, you got like a $175 gaming PC. That's a really average price. But this one here is like in its own case and everything, so I'm curious to see how the heck they did this.
And the seller sells a lot of systems as well that include even higher end GPUs. Again, a 960 is an older GPU, but we're talking 960 i7 4790K for $174 after shipping in a custom case. So I got to see what quarters are they cutting here. Oh, we got the like OG stickers. So like we got the Intel Core i7.
Samsung SSD activated.
Activated, nice.
And so this is, I know that the seller had a bunch of like different custom builds like this. So I kind of have the theory that maybe they kind of do what we do, where they get, you know, like trade-ins, they find really good deals on parts, and then they resell the systems, because this definitely looks, I mean, we didn't get an original case box. Yeah. And this case looks like it's been through it a little bit. So I'm guessing a used system essentially.
Yeah, it has to be a used system that, yeah, as Jackson mentioned, on trade-in, or maybe they got bulk amounts of these systems and they're selling them, because it wasn't just a one-of-one listing. There were multiples of these things ready to go.
Yeah, so it looks like this one was ready not too long ago, 7/18/2023, and it says Lian Li case, PC Q33, i7 4790K, 16 gigs, 8x2, and NVIDIA GTX 960 and 128 gig SSD.
What makes me think it's used as well is I am noticing some really dusty points as well, and obviously with these stickers that are like leaving residue behind. But yeah, we'll go and open it up and see what everything looks like.
Yeah, because obviously, and I know some of you might be thinking, well, shouldn't you guys turn it on first? Well, we don't know if there's packing materials in it. We don't want to just turn a PC on without knowing that, although we probably know there's not by looking.
Yeah, you would think, because there's like perforation right there, but you know what, we're the Toasty Bros. We open things up. This looks like a cut in half version of the DIY Cube case.
Oh, okay, so this part's toolless. I didn't really even need to take those. I guess that's like the whole entire front can come off.
Oh wow, this thing just comes all the way apart.
This must be like an older case, because I've never seen it before. Oh, and here's a sticker. It looks like 2015, January 29th, 2015. So I'm assuming that's when that case was from. It's like a little mini ITX case. It kind of reminds me of like a taller Thermaltake 100.
It is dusty. So like this has to be, we just got it and sold it. I don't know how much work was done on it, because
the graphics card.
The graphics card? How bad's the graphics card?
Check it.
Ready? Oh, this thing is so dusty.
Thingy right there, nice, okay.
A lot of this stuff is older. Obviously, 4th Gen i7. This Antec power supply is definitely an older power supply. Like you can just tell.
And the random watt, is that 520 watts?
Yeah, 520. They don't really make power supplies with that wattage anymore. But yeah, just the dust on the RAM. We'll have Jonah get some really nice B-roll of this thing before we clean it up. It's just really caked on, and I don't know how it's gonna work out of the box.
Another thing that's kind of goofy that, I mean, it's probably not even the seller's fault, but this SSD, they like double-sided adhesive in, when like this is a mounting tray for like, I literally see a screw hole right here they could have screwed in, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just like a little pet peeve, but let's plug this thing in. Let's see if it like actually works, you know?
Oh God.
I should probably put this back on.
I don't like that.
Before I break this.
Yeah, so those screws right there are what cause
Yeah, it's like, I guess you can just take the whole front off or something. You know, this case is old when it has these little grommets back here to put like water cooling through.
Well, that's for your fingies. You just go like this.
It's Chinese finger trap.
Oh God, I took it with me.
Oh God, that's never going back in. All right, are you ready?
Let's do it.
It sounds like it. I was just seeing if it just, yeah, if it booted.
Does.
You know what? There's another sticker. What is this one? PC Solutions, and I see $1509.95. What if that's how much this was originally? That'd be
wild. You know what? Just because, you know what? I don't want to go down the rabbit hole again, but I'm going to grab a monitor and we're going to plug this up and see if it works. And then just to save us the time of bringing it over there, do we want to clean this thing up a little bit? At least just air compress it a little bit?
This might be like a, let's test it first, see how the temps are. But then, yeah, we are probably, if this thing works, we're going to resell it at PC Bros for $1,000. No, I'm just kidding. But we will resell this thing with a 1-year warranty, and it's going to be fully cleaned and gone through and tested and benchmarked. And yeah, I mean, you can tell they did not clean this at all, but it was really cheap. If this thing works, it's still a good deal. So I'm not hating on the seller for not cleaning it, because honestly, let's be real. If they cleaned it, they'd probably be charging $50 to $100 more than they did. I'm hoping we get like Windows 10, like, you know, fresh install and everything on here. But
it has like 7 or XP. Yeah. Post screen, let's see if it boots into Windows. I'm worried it's not a keyboard. I would think it's not.
I would think it wouldn't be, honestly, but because it's only 2 RAM slots, only one 4-pin for the CPU.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a telltale sign.
So no overclocking with this. Don't mess with the overclocking. But it looks like it works, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is we'll benchmark it in its current state. We wanna see if that CPU is running incredibly hot because it didn't touch the thermal paste, if anything is wrong with it in terms of crashes and stuff. And then from there, we'll do a light dusting and show you guys what we did to clean it up and see if it was a good deal after all. All right, guys, we are in Fortnite, and you might already see what I'm seeing. That CPU temp looking a bit suspicious. We were on medium view distance, medium textures. I guess I'll just turn this off if it'll let me. But we are dealing with some thermal throttling, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy. I think we're capping out at 100C, and we're only running at 1.7, 1.8 gigahertz on average. That stock cooler ain't it. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if swapping the thermal paste is really going to make a big difference with this overall configuration, because I just think the stock cooler is going to severely hold the CPU back, which is kind of disappointing and something I didn't really even consider. But again, we're talking about a computer now that is, well, as cheap as it is. So, you know, what we're going to have to do is probably, I don't want to damage this computer too bad, but I think it'll thermal throttle enough to where we can at least get some attempt of gameplay. But yeah, a lot of this stutter, I will say, is probably to do, oh God. Hey, what's up? Oh, he's got a shotty now. Oh, he's done though. Is most likely to do with the CPU throttling because of the temperature, because this should be a much smoother experience. Scaling 60 to 70 FPS. Yeah, that poor CPU is, like, it's running hot, man. And that, I will say the CPU cooler is not revving up super fast either, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, we're not getting good results right now. So I might have Jackson play Apex. I was originally gonna have him play Apex, but I think when he gets here, we might just go straight into fixing this thing and trying to do a thermal paste cleaning, because it's not doable right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is not doable. But I'll hold on for a little bit and give you all some Fortnite gameplay. Oh, I probably deserve to die there. But I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, just before we have to, you know, remove the cooler, get a new cooler and everything, we're gonna try a thermal paste swap super quick and see if that makes a difference. I don't really think it's going to, but it might. We'll try it, and then we'll come back to Fortnite and see if there was a difference. So one cool thing is I did discover how this case opens. You take the side panels off, and then this just swivels out. It's incredibly dusty, but I really think this stock cooler is just not built for a 4790. Oh wait. It's like not even, it might not even be making contact, to be honest, now that I'm feeling it. So maybe it's the contact that we're having issues with. Oh God, yep. So this is a new, I'm so confused. This thing is so dusty, but I don't think it was ever making contact with the CPU. Look at that, there's like no contact whatsoever. Oh man, that's pretty bad. Oh, look at all the dust. I don't want to clean this too much because I want to keep this in its current state, but that's awful. Okay, let me add some thermal paste and we'll see what that can do. This didn't even make contact, but we're gonna clean it off anyways. That looks as if it's making contact, all right? All those pins are locked in. Don't necessarily know if that's gonna make a major difference, but we're gonna try float up Fortnite and see what happens. Well guys, it's crazy what actually mounting the cooler right will do, and also a little thermal paste, because our wattage of the CPU is up to 86 watts compared to 30 it was at. We're only about 72 degrees Celsius, and we're at 4.3 gigahertz. And as you can probably tell by the gameplay, this is incredibly smooth compared to what it was before. Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting on performance settings. Again, we are running performance mode because this is still older hardware. The 960 is only a 2 gig card. This 4th Gen i7 is pretty old, but it still has enough horsepower for esports titles on lower settings, and especially at that price point of $170, I still think it's a really good deal. I don't know if that was a shipping mishap or what, or I need to understand where these systems came from, because clearly with how dusty that was and the way it had the pre-marked thermal paste still on it, I'm wondering if it's always been running like that its entire life. So this thing is like, oh my gosh, I'm finally getting proper cooling after how many years? I have no idea how long this thing could have been running like that. It's pretty insane this thing still works, to be honest, but hey, the power of thermal throttling. Guy's got third party. Sorry, Anonymous. Lasered. Nice try, dirty house. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, bucko? Oh, this guy's gonna get me. That guy got me. I've been based. But hey, temperatures significantly better. I was proved wrong, actually. This stock cooler is adequate enough. 70 degrees Celsius is not too bad for a 4790K. Obviously, there is more headroom. If you want to get an aftermarket cooler, you can, but Fortnite runs good. Now let's switch to some Apex Legends, which should stress that 960 a bit more.
Alright guys, we are playing Apex Legends and we are doing some lower settings. We're basically on like a low, pretty much just low, really.
Low, yeah.
We have NVIDIA Reflex on, FOV's max 1080p, so native resolution. This 960 is probably what's going to kind of hold us back. As you can see, it is almost maxed out, because honestly, the i7 is really not a bad CPU even nowadays.
Nah, if you got one of these things, again, from what you've seen already, you're going to have to do some work on them. Maybe yours will show up a little bit better than ours did, but subbing in a GPU would work pretty good still with the 4790K.
Yeah, and as you can see, like, the 4790K, I know I mentioned, like, it might get held back by the board a little bit in terms of overclocking, because you literally can't, but in terms of it boosting, it's doing a great job. Yeah. Hitting some high frequencies. Oh! What a nice hello!
Oh, hi, I'm John.
Oh god, that's not the gun I thought it was.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yay! Please! Oh, someone took my kill. Oh, they charged it. They charged it up. Yes. Oh, we won.
Wolf Squad,
Marty.
baby. Let's go.
Marty, you carried us, buddy.
Marty, what?
Yeah, guys, the PC, you know, like I said, that 960, a little outdated, and obviously the fact that it was tested, but clearly they did not do any temp testing or anything, which on a PC that's like this old and this dusty and crusty, you really need to do like a full stress test.
Yeah, so we're gonna run some built-in benchmarks, stress this thing to its limits, and towards the end we'll explain what I mentioned before, how we looked at the description from the seller, because that was the biggest thing, is the description says, well, it was tested and activated and shown that it was functional, but we had some issues, and we'll talk about that. Then we'll clean it up and show you before and after.
Alright guys, we just got done benchmarking this little tiny PC, and we don't normally go out of our way to tell you guys like, hey, you should go do this, it's a great deal. It's more of like what happens when we do it, because we got money that we can spend on stuff like this is what we do. We got this thing as is. It's very dirty, it needs to be cleaned up, it needs some optimization done, and on top of that, the fact that the cooler just wasn't even on there is kind of a big deal, because if you had bought that at home, you would have been very upset, because as soon as Matt launched Fortnite over 100 degrees Celsius, it would have crashed, it would have probably eventually just killed some hardware and whatnot, so the fact that we had to fix that kind of sucks.
And as mentioned during the Fortnite benchmark run, I was going to tell you guys what the description said, and there'll be a screenshot somewhere in the middle between us right here, mentioning that functionality, it was fully tested and passed all diagnostic tests, which depends what those tests are. There, in theory, could be tests where they're like, does it turn on? Does it launch a certain application? And then from there, that CPU overheating wouldn't have been picked up. And one other thing you might be thinking is, well, maybe that happened in shipping. Well, you saw the thermal paste on the cooler. It was still the pre-applied thermal paste, so it never made contact and actually spread across the CPU. So that could have been like that for a long time, especially with how much dust is built up on this. I don't think that was a new cooler that was added unless it was already dusty as is. But either way, it was not in the perfect functional state. But again, at under $200 for us, it's a good deal. For someone who's buying it and wanting to get something out of the box, buyer beware if you are gonna buy from the seller. But let us know down below what you think, and you guys can see some before and after when we do end up cleaning this thing, because it will go to PC Bros. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below what you think of this PC, and did we get a good deal, or was it an absolute mess in your eyes?
But as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
So this PC right here, we're gonna absolutely go through, we're gonna deep clean it, we're gonna do some more testing as far as temperatures and optimization goes, and then we're just gonna make sure that it's actually ready to go to customer, because PCBros.tech is where we're gonna be selling this with a 1-year full warranty.
PCBros.tech, gaming PCs, gaming laptops, and so much more. Use code TOASTYBROS to check out and save 2% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace.